Hello.
Oh, it's Miracle Mom and Michael.
You forgot your line already. Gosh, Mom. Can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? The old dog just will forget it. I have to relearn it over and over again. Huh? What was I supposed to do? All right. Mom, I keep doing this to Mom, but I like the results. So she has no idea what's coming, and I keep surprising her. And I told her at the beginning of this call, which was like 10 segments ago, I don't know how many segments we're getting out of this one, but I told her I had a surprise for her later. um, and
Is
here,
this it?
this is it. All right.
Okay.
I am going to read from my journal.
Okay.
All right. So that excites me more than it does her because I don't know what's written in here. I'm like, I'm just going to open this page and read what's on it. Not really. I did find this. Like, this is a journal. The date, it covers the dates from June 2nd, 2018
Oh,
to April 5th, 2019. So just, it's like 10 months, just under a year.
okay.
And so this show that I'm premiering, oh, by the way, if you didn't watch the last segment, June 3rd, I'm premiering a show on Tales of Truth Tales of Truth channel on YouTube. It's called Hollywood and History, and that show will premiere exactly 2 years and one day after I started this journal. Right, that show is going to be going to premiere on June 3rd, 2020, and this journal entry I'm about to read is from June 6th, 2018. So almost exactly 2 years ago. Are you ready, Mom?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Brace yourself.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but it's something. If you do die, by the way, this is Miracle Mom and Michael, and she might die someday. And if you do die, you would never have heard me read my journal. So here we go. First of all, this will be the last segment of this phone call. Then I have to go hang out with my family for a little bit. First of all, I wrote down the wrong date. The very first entry, I put the wrong date. That's interesting. I put 2/2/18, so February 2nd, 2018, which it wasn't. It was June, and I caught it later. So I guess I've gone back and looked at this because there's a different color ink saying this date is wrong. I think it's June. And it is because my second entry or my third entry was in June, and so I didn't take 4 months in between entries. All right, here are the first words of this journal. You are my queen. I'm building you a castle because one day you'll have what you deserve. Thought: a castle was just a town with fortified protection in order to maintain a way of life. So that was my first entry in this journal. Do you want
Okay.
does so do you know who I'm talking about? You are my queen.
Tina?
Yeah, my wife. So
Yeah.
I don't know, like the journal before this, I think was digital. So I think this is the first time I was writing a written journal in a long time. I had kept written journals, handwritten journals when I was younger, but
Yeah.
I had gone to digital, so I was just doing a digital entry, and then I started doing a written journal again, and so that was the first entry. And I was thinking about the future. I was already working on this project, and I'm like, well, this project could be very successful, and all I want to do is provide for my family, which means my wife and my kids. And so I was thinking of my wife as the most important person to me, and I want to build her a castle. I'll just read it again.
Right.
You are my queen. I'm building you a castle because one day you'll have what you deserve. Thought: a castle was just a town with fortified protection in order to maintain a way of life. In other words, if I can somehow provide just to maintain this way of life, I've provided a castle. And then
Yes.
I want to read just three more paragraphs, and then I'm done. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. This is the next entry, and this is from June 5th, so 3 days later. There's a couple people I mentioned here, so I won't say their names, but uh,
Okay.
I met with X over a week ago when he told me to do a written journal and try to do a daily entry both morning and evening. It will be a good discipline once I get to it. And then I leave a space, which means I have another thought on that same day. An excellent meeting yesterday with so and so and so and so. We have our attorney. So I was meeting with somebody with an attorney, and we needed an attorney. And so, excellent meeting yesterday with so and so, my one of my partners, and the attorney. We have our attorney. That's I spilled something on this page, and so it's blurred. That's my main takeaway. Oh, I think something like we have an attorney. That's my main takeaway. Another, and I mean another takeaway for me, further confirms our need to go on this trip now. So I was preparing for the first research trip to Europe.
Oh, yeah.
So I started this journal just before that. Another, and I have now in all caps. It confirms our need to go on this trip now. With the uncertainty regarding ownership of the memoir, the one absolute way to own it is to get photos of the original handwritten document and translate them. That's huge, all caps and three exclamation points.
Okay.
Um, Today we are having a face to face meeting, and so will join us. Also, we may be pulling this guy from the project and inserting this other guy. Oh, okay. I'll explain this last couple of things. Um, so I was wanting to go on these research trips. You know, all the content, all the footage that I've put on Tales of Truth is footage from the research trip, and it was like this was before it was. I even had an investor. It was like,
Yeah.
or maybe I had the investor by this point. I don't know yet. We'll have to read. I'll have to continue reading journal entries to figure out how this process unfolded. But I didn't even have ownership of the memoir yet. So that's a little inside scoop for those who are watching this behind the scenes. I own the rights to the memoir, the rights to exploit, in other words, to produce it into a story, a TV show, a novel, a YouTube channel. I have the rights to do whatever I want with it as long as I'm honoring the wishes of the actual family. That's it.
Yeah.
Is they're happy with everything I'm doing so far, and so but I didn't at the time of the writing of this journal. I didn't have those rights. I didn't know where those rights were. I didn't know if the family even could assign me those rights. And so
Yeah.
my thoughts were, well, if this memoir has been like published and somebody else actually owns the publishing rights, the only way around that, because it's never been translated to English, is to find the original handwritten
Yeah.
manuscript and translate it into English, and then we would own that translation. And so, I mean,
Right.
that may or may not protect you from somebody else if they stake a legal claim or not. It's all this stuff that I didn't have figured out yet. And here I'm trying. Usually, you don't even go forward if you don't have the rights. You don't spend any money. You don't
Yeah.
produce anything. You just like, if those rights come through, then I'll get back on this project. But this is all I had. It's like I'm going forward on this project even without knowing if I have the rights.
Yeah.
So, and then I needed a lawyer to write up some contracts for, like releases that I would need. If I'm filming people, they need to sign releases so I can use their likeness, and so I would need an actual legal contract, etc. So we needed
Yeah.
a lawyer. So that journal entry confirms that we found a lawyer. We have a different lawyer now, but that guy was great to help us get started. He got over he had too much other things going on, but we got the right guy now. And then at the bottom there was another like Hollywood professional that I had kind of brought in as potentially working on the documentary side of this, and I'm I have another friend who is closer to me that I think was more qualified, and so this was that phase where I was trying to phase that other guy out, and phase in a new guy, and so there's always tensions that can arise. It's like I I don't know this other guy. I don't know what he brings to the table. I don't know how fast this project is going to move along. So turns out the things that were supposed to happen have happened.
Yeah.
There's a little journal behind the scenes. Was that enlightening or boring? Did I put you to sleep?
No, not at all. As you're talking about it, and I'm thinking it's really important for you to document in that way,
Mm.
because when this is all completed, you've almost got material to write a book about the process.
You're not kidding. It
You know what I
it's
mean?
well, it's like there's TV shows about the show, right? All of the
Yeah.
process is another show in and of itself. That's what the like this history show, this Hollywood and history, that is a show that arose from all the documentation of this thing. And
Yeah,
it's
well,
an
it's
example.
it's right. You're in a way you're writing the book as you go.
I'm holding up a book.
Is what it. Oh,
It's funny you should
the
say,
purple one.
nope, this is a different one. This one you can't read. This one you will never be able to read.
Oh, you've got that book in your
It's
hands.
in my hand right here. This is what's being
Do your
translated.
do your fingers tingle when you hold the book?
It feels,
Oh,
when you
do
hold
you
a,
lock it in a safe?
that's the crazy thing. I did have it in my storage unit for a while, and I'm like, no, that thing needs to be close to me, right? That thing is like,
You need to get a safe.
yeah. Well, the thing is, nobody walking through my house would realize how valuable this thing is. It's just like a book on a shelf. But it's like
Yeah, I
when I hold
know,
it in
but
my hand, it does feel. You asked if I get a tingling feeling. It doesn't feel like just a book, and that's the thing. It's like this is something that found its way into my hands. Is the way I should put it. It's like you don't
well,
think
I
of.
think you need to get a safe. I really do.
Well, it
In
is.
today's world.
I understand why you say that because this is the most valuable thing I possess, and you know what it is? It's a guy's journal, basically. Like
I know.
what I just read from in my journal, that's what my hero, I hold in his hands the accumulation and the culmination of
Yeah,
his documentation of writing, of his journaling and remembering and recalling, and um,
I know. And now you're putting it out on the internet.
yep, here we go. All right, I got to wrap this up. I got to go. My in the sound of probably several of the segments that we did in this phone call, you may have heard some door knocking or like interruption in me looking around. So I got to go check in on the family. I love you, Mom.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
Be
Okay.
be safe. I'm only going to be posting one video a day. Well, one of these.
That's
One from the phone
yeah.
call. I'll still post behind the scenes stuff, but I need to stretch out this phone call while I work on other stuff.
Yeah.
So,
That's fine.
all right, go to GoFundMe,
Okay.
everybody, and click this and like it and share it and all that stuff.
Okay.
Any final words, Mom?
Not really.
This,
No.
this could be the last time I ever
Let's.
talk to you.
Don't say that. Retract that. Cut that part out.
Oh, people freak out. It's like, oh, don't say that. You might cause it to happen. Like my words are going to cause that to be the truth. I'm just speaking the truth. I have no control over whether this is the last time I speak to you or not.
Oh, I know.
But
I know.
so make those last words good.
My last words.
Uh-huh.
If hypocrisy was water, the whole world would drown.
I'm gonna put that on your tombstone, Mom. I love you, Mom.
I love you too.
Bye bye.
Bye. You hanging up?
I don't hit stop on this recorder until you. I have to hear that sound. I have to hear that sound before I can stop. I love you.
Love you too.
So the power's in your hands.
Goodbye.
Bye.